Hey Finxters, Shubham here. In this video we will be discussing how to sort a dictionary by values in Python. Now what do I mean by that? If you have a look on the screen, we have a dictionary by the name rank. Then we have 5 key value pairs in this dictionary and we want to sort it based on the values. So we want the dictionary to be something as you can see in the expected output. Dwayne comes first because his rank is 1, while Sharon is the last key value pair since Sharon has the rank 5. Now let's discuss the methods that we can use to sort the dictionary using the values instead of the keys. I hope you get the idea. We are sorting the dictionary based on the values, not the keys. So the first method that we will be using to do so is the sorted function. Now you might be wondering what's the sorted function. So let me give you an idea about the sorted function. It is an inbuilt function in Python which is used to sort the elements of an iterable in a specific order. That is either in ascending order or descending order. So after sorting the elements, it returns the sorted sequence in the form of a sorted list. Now the sorted function has 3 parameters. These parameters are an iterable, which is a sequence to be sorted like a list, a dictionary, a tuple, or anything like that. Now it's a mandatory parameter. Then we have the key argument. So the key argument is a function that is used as a key for the sort comparisons. By default, the key parameter has a value of none and it is an optional argument. And the third parameter is the reverse parameter. It is also an optional parameter and it is a Boolean parameter which sorts the sequence in ascending order or descending order. That is, when reverse is set to true, the list will be sorted in descending order, while if it's not set to true, then it will sort the list in ascending order. So let me quickly show you the syntax. Now we have our dictionary here and we will be using the sorted function to sort this. Just before solving it, let me show you the syntax for the sorted function. It is something like this: sorted, an iterable, which can be a dictionary, a list, or any other sequence. Then the next parameter is a key, which has the value none by default. This is the parameter that we are going to use in order to sort our dictionary using the values instead of the keys. And finally, we have the reverse parameter, which can be set to false or true. Now that you know the syntax, let's use this sorted function and then solve our problem. So we have the dictionary and now we need to define a for loop for n sorted and then the iterable, which in our case is a dictionary by the name rank, and then we use the key parameter. Inside the key parameter, we will use the get function in order to extract the values from their respective keys and then sort it using the sorted function. I hope the idea is clear to you. So rank.get. This helps us to extract the values with respect to their keys. Now we have our loop already. We simply need to print the dictionary, the keys, and the values using the index or the keys. Rank, then W. So that's it. That should solve the problem for us. Let's check the output. And as you can see, we have the expected output. Now if you want to sort it in the reverse order, you can do that as well. All you need to do is define the third parameter and just set it to true. And then we check the output. And now you can see the dictionary is sorted based on its values in the descending order instead of the ascending order. Now we are done with the first method, so let's move on to the next method. In the second method, we will be using a dictionary comprehension along with a lambda function and then use the sorted method to solve our problem. Now, it is highly recommended that you read our tutorials on dictionary comprehensions and lambda functions before watching this solution. So without further delay, let us dive into the solution. So we have our dictionary, and now we are going to solve our problem or sort the dictionary in a single line. So we use the print statement, then we have the key value pairs, then we have our for loop or the iterator that iterates over the keys and values in the dictionary or the items in the dictionary, and then we use the sorted function in order to sort the dictionary. Then we extract the items of the dictionary using the items function, and now inside the sorted function we have the key argument. In the previous case we passed the get function within the key argument. However, in this case we will be using a lambda function. So lambda item and then item 1. Now you might be wondering why I used 1 there. So I'll be explaining that to you. Now let's check if this works for us. And as you can see, we have the expected output. In this case, we can also use the reverse argument inside the sorted function. So reverse, and then we set it to true, and let's check if it works. And as you can see, this works as well. Now you might be wondering, why do we use this item at the first index? Now I use this so that we can sort the dictionary based on the values. In case you want to sort the dictionary based on the keys, then you simply need to use 0 here. And let's check if this works. Now as you can see, the dictionary is sorted in the descending order based on the keys. So if I remove the reverse to make things more clear for you and then check the output, now you can see that the list is sorted in the ascending order based on the keys instead of the values. Now if I want to sort the list based on the values, then I'll use 1 here and then run the program again, and then you can see that we have the desired output. So I hope this method was clear to you. However, I highly recommend you to have a look at our blog tutorials on lambda functions and dictionary comprehensions to be more clear about this method. Now that brings us to our next method, which is going to be the item getter function along with the sorted function. Now what's an item getter function? It is a built-in function of the operator module in Python that constructs a callable and accepts an iterable like a list, tuple, set or any other sequence as an input and fetches the element at the nth position. Now this can be very confusing, but I'll make things clear for you in the programming screen. So now if you have a look on the screen, please focus on this part as of now. We'll come to the next part later. We imported the item getter function from the operator module. Then we have our dictionary. Now the item getter module or the item getter function, as I said before, will help you to fetch or extract the nth element out of the sequence. So how do we do that? We have our itemgetter function, then we specify key whose value we want to derive. So in my case I used Bob, or maybe let's change it, let's make it John. And then in the next parameter we define the dictionary. Now let's check what's the output. As you can see, it's 3 since John's rank is 3. Now we are going to use this property of the itemgetter function to sort our dictionary. However, before proceeding, it is very important for us to understand another concept. If you are thorough with dictionaries, you must have come across the items method. So what does the items method do? It returns a view object that contains key value pairs of the dictionary as tuples in a list. So what do I mean by that? The type of the items function, or the type of object that the items function returns, is a list containing tuples. Now to explain that further, I wrote a simple program. We have our dictionary here, and then we simply print the output of the items function when applied to the rank dictionary. To further simplify things, I created a structure such that you will have two columns by the name key and value, and then the values and the keys will be printed accordingly. Now I did this purposely because this is what we are going to use inside the itemgetter function so that we can sort our dictionary. Let's comment out this portion and let's check what's the output. So as you can see, in the first case, rank.items returns a view object which has tuples inside a list. Please keep this concept in mind when we solve our problem or when we sort the dictionary using the itemgetter function, because when we pass the rank.items function inside the sorted function, then the itemgetter function will think that the values at the 0th position are the keys, while the values at the first position are the values of the dictionary. So it will consider the entire dictionary as a whole, like the keys, the entire keys or all the keys will have the index 0, while the entire values will have the index 1 or the position 1. So now I hope that was clear to you. Now let's check the solution. Let's create a variable a, and then we use our sorted function. Then we pass the rank.items function as the iterable. So what does that mean? It means you can iterate over the dictionary using both the keys as well as the values. Now comes the second attribute of the sorted function, that's the key. And inside the key we are going to specify or define the itemgetter function. Now as I mentioned, we need to sort the values based on the values inside the dictionary. So what do I need to write here? Any idea? Yeah, it's going to be 1. And if we wanted to sort the dictionary based on the keys, then it would have been 0. Yeah, you guessed it right. Now let's print this out. We need to explicitly convert our variable a into a dictionary. So we need to typecast it to a dictionary, and that's it. Now let's check if this works. Before that, let's clear out the output screen. And now let's check if this works for us. And as you can see, we have the desired solution. So I hope this was clear to you. Now let's move on to the next method. Now I won't say that this is a method to solve our problem, but it is one of the necessary concepts that you must know if you are using an older version of Python. So let me take you to our programming screen. Now, as you can see, we are using an older version of Python here. So just for your convenience, I'll show you the version of Python that we are using, though you can see it on the screen itself. Yet let's run this code. And as you can see, it's Python 2.7. Now that brings us to a problem. Let me remove this part because we don't need it. And now let's focus on the program. So if you remember, this is one of the methods that we used to solve our problem. However, does this work? And as you can see, this doesn't work. We do have our dictionary, but it is not sorted. Now this is because dictionaries are generally unordered in older versions of Python. So it is not possible to sort a dictionary directly in the older versions. So how can we overcome this constraint? It's pretty simple. We need to use a subclass known as ordered dict. So that's what we are going to discuss in this section. An ordered dict is a dictionary subclass that preserves the order in which key values are inserted in a dictionary. It is a part of the collections module. So let us quickly have a look how we can use the ordered dict subclass and sort our dictionary using values in older versions of Python. So let us quickly import the ordered dict subclass from the collections module. From collections, import ordered dict. And now we simply need to use it. So instead of dict, I will use ordered dict, and that should be good to go. Now let's print it out properly. So for key and value in our dictionary A, let's print the key and the values. I think it should be a.items, and we should be good to go. Let's check. And as you can see, it worked. Let me make a few changes so that the output looks more readable. And as you can see, now we have the output. So that's how you can sort a dictionary in older versions of Python. Now that was quite a long video, so let's wrap up quickly. I hope you learned something from this video. Please stay tuned and subscribe our channel for more such videos. Goodbye.